This is such an easy Biga dough recipe. First, get a hold of one of these, a micro scale, which will weigh your yeast to the closest decimal point. To make a Biga, add the yeast and room temperature water to the bowl and whisk it until the yeast is dissolved. Now add in the flour. I chose to use some bread flour in this recipe to give more strength to this highly hydrated dough. Use the back of a spoon to roughly mix this Biga together. You want it to look like this, nice and shaggy. However, I wonder, I've been watching a lot of 100% Biga dough recipes, and their Bigas look more smooth and consistent. Maybe in the next video, I'll test this theory out and use my dough mixer to mix my Biga. I placed this Biga straight into the fridge for a 48-hour cold fermentation in order to slowly develop the flavor. Don't forget to watch until the end of the video for the full recipe. After a 2-day fermentation, I add the Biga to the mixer. It doesn't smell sour at all. Now, my trick here is to use 2 ice cubes when weighing out your water weight. This way, you can mix your dough longer to fully develop the gluten structure. Now, pour half of the liquid into the mixer along with the salt and the Biga and start to mix on low speed. Then increase it to high and add in the rest of your water. You want to mix your dough until it's smooth and it reads 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This dough's total hydration is around 76% and it's nice, smooth, and elastic. Now, you're going to give it a nice and tight shape and let this dough ferment at room temperature for 1 hour. Now, using lightly dampened hands, stretch and fold the dough on all sides. At this point, you can either allow your dough to rise for another hour at room temperature, or what I did is I placed it directly into the fridge to go for another 24-hour cold fermentation. After that cold ferment, remove the dough from the fridge and let it come to room temperature for 1 hour before balling. This recipe will make 3 even dough balls of 280 grams each. I chose to slowly ferment these dough balls in the fridge for 24 hours. This low and slow cold fermentation will create those micro bubbles and leoparding later in your dough. This dough was so soft, elastic, and easy to stretch out. I made sure to leave as much air in the crust as possible. Biga is one of those pre-ferments, perfect for someone who wants that quick rise in their crust. The crumb structure of the crust is nice, open, and evenly spread throughout. The flavor of this crust, however, is insane. That low and slow fermentation with that 48-hour Biga in the fridge makes this dough so flavorful. I hope you give this recipe a try, and don't forget to like and subscribe.